Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of TK's Parking Lot Picks. It is trade deadline day, so the havoc has been running through our Twitter veins today as deals have been made, players have been sent and gone. A lot to follow, a lot more to come. So tonight's usually one of the highest variance slates of the year because we don't know who's going to be on the roster. Some guys get pulled mid-game, and you just have nothing to do. You can't do anything about it because the trade deadline is the trade deadline, and you just hope to try to pick guys you feel are going to be on the team tomorrow and are going to be good matchups for our players tonight. But yeah, it's August 31st. It is a Monday. I am off today, so I am sitting at home in the car. Nice, peaceful car as always. Yeah, so we only got 7 games on the slate today. Just it seems like every pitching matchup, Bieber's on. We get Cole and Giolito to go with it. So we've had this slate a couple of times this year, so should be fun. But let's hop in. As I was referring to, we got Garrett Cole, 7.5 total versus the Rays. He has faced them twice this year. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 10 Ks in the last outing that they faced each other. And in the first outing, he only went 4 2/3 with 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 10 Ks. So, what do we expect? Couple runs, a homer, 10 Ks. That's kind of been Garrett Cole's line this year. 10K, you get a 1K bonus, 1K drop from Bieber, and he's right below Giolito in terms of salary. He's going to be another good pick. This game is in New York, so we do get a shorter ballpark. He is a 140 favorite facing off against Glass now. The Yankees could be a potential team where they're trading pieces, so we have to be very careful as to who is going to be in that lineup. We don't know if they look like they're going to not be able to score a run for Garrett Cole tonight, and Garrett Cole's has given up a homer in each start, and he gave up 3 homers last time out against Atlanta. But he still has a lot of upside with the K numbers. He's got a 14% swing strike rate, 32% K rate. Really high numbers. 38% ground ball is pretty good. He's giving up a lot of hard contact. I don't think the Rays are going to be mashing him. As I've seen, maybe a homer or two, but nothing. He doesn't unintentionally put guys on base, or he doesn't intentionally put guys on base by walking guys. So Cole, really good on this slate for cash. Next up, we got Shane Bieber, 7.5 total, minus 250 favorite, 11K salary. He's the highest pitcher on the slate. 5 games of 10Ks or plus or more. You can see I got my Indians gear. I'm all decked out. I don't hate or love the Clevenger trade today, if you wanted to know. As you can see, my Indians get up. I think they got some decent prospects, and they got some serviceable MLB players, but nothing that jumps off the table. But 6 players for 2. And Greg Allen's not much of anything. So, I mean, basically, you gave up Clevenger for 6 players in return, 3 good prospects, 3 decent MLB players. I can't hate it. At the same time, I'm not thrilled, because Clevenger is Clevenger. But, if you look at it long term, the Indians are setting themselves up like they do all the time. Acquire young talent, develop young talent, and turn into, another perennial favorite. So, I don't mind it. I'm not worried about our staff. We got people like Bieber, the ace of our staff. So, last time out, he only gave up 4 hits in 6 innings. Had 10 Ks versus the Twins, only gave up 2 runs. First time he faced Kansas City this year, he had 14 Ks on opening day. He was the talk of the league. This is the Cy Young candidate for the AL, essentially going up against the other 2 Cy Young candidates, and it's fun that we get to see these guys pitch on the same day, week in, week out. 42% K rate, only a 5% walk rate, 18% swing and strike rate. That's one of the highest in the league. Kansas City has not been crushing the ball lately. Bieber, better cash spot. I'll even pay up for the 11K, minus 250 favorite. I like Bieber. Just pray to God, even if he doesn't get the run support for the win, Maybe that means something on FanDuel, but for DraftKings, the K upside just way too large to ignore. We do have cores on the slate, so we have to be careful. What bats do we pick? It's gonna be a mix and match bat day. It's gonna be where can you find value in your positions rather than stacks and just cores. It's gonna be okay, I got to get this guy here at this price. You got to be a lot of mixing matching because you got to fit these stud pitchers because they have 35 plus point upside. Next up, we got Giolito, 10-4, 9 total, 120 favorite. That's not, for a guy coming off a no-hitter, a 9 total minus 120 favorite is not something you would expect for a guy who just had 13 Ks and back-to-back starts and a no-hitter. How well does Giolito respond from pitching 9 innings a couple, 5 days ago, or 4 days ago? So, this could be a spot where the Twins can take advantage of Giolito. 3 2/3, 6 hits, 7 runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, 3 Ks on opening day versus the Twins. So they got to him. They roughed him up pretty well. I mean, obviously he's been a better pitcher since opening day, but it just shows you that the Twins see Giolito pretty well. These are teams that have faced off against each other year in, year out, and Giolito, the ace of the White Sox staff, this could be a spot where the Twins can get to him, and you're not going to see 55 plus points in a no-hitter from Giolito. At 10-4, I would kind of side with Cole. You what you get with Cole, and then I much prefer Bieber because of the K upside is just way too large. Giolito, a fine GBP play again. I don't think he'll be more popular than Bieber or Cole, but if he is, I think that'd be beneficial to fade. And then just hope that the Twins are better than the Pirates and the Detroit Tigers, the teams that he's been whooping on the last 2 starts. So I'm more in favor with the 2 guys I mentioned above. So my ranking would be Bieber, Cole, Giolito tonight, just how the salaries run out. If I have to save $1,000 to get Cole over Bieber, okay, so be it. But that's my preference in order of the top 3 today. Next up, we have Max Fried, 9,200, 9.5 total, minus 170 favorite. 6 innings pitched last time out, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 Ks versus the Yanks. He's pitched really well this year. He's got a lot of good fantasy upside games. 24% K rate, a low 7% walk rate, 56% ground ball rate's really good. And he's limiting hard contact. He's only giving up 31% hard contact, 12% swinging strikes. Braves just played well into the night with a big 13-10 game or something like that against the Phillies. Braves facing off against the Red Sox in Fenway today. The lefty Fried in a decent spot, but the Red Sox do have some good righties, but the Red Sox have been very bad this year, not living up to any expectations of typical Red Sox teams of the past. So I don't mind Max Fried today. GPP, of course, because of the other pitchers named, but very low owned spot for Fried in a 9.5 total. The short portion in left is going to keep some guys off of him. I think that's a good, perfect spot, 9,200 for GPPs. Tyler Glass now, 8,400, as mentioned, going up against Cole, 7.5 total, plus 140 underdog. Last time out, he went 5 2/3. He's faced the Yankees twice. Last time he faced the Yankees, 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 homer, 8 Ks. But the first time he faced the Yankees, he went 2 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 Ks, 3. Was that 4 homers? No, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. Now, the first time he faced the Yanks, he faced off against Stanton and Judge and some of the better teams or better guys in that lineup. Second time around, he started to get to this watered-down lineup of the Yankees have been posting because of injuries. So you saw how much that affected his 2 starts in between those 2 periods of the Yankees' health roster. Now, the Yankees could trade Andujar today, and they could trade maybe someone like Frazier. So we're not sure what their team's going to look like. I think this is something you closely monitor to the lock. Glass now a good GPP spot tonight. Probably not going to be heavy on it, but I don't mind it. 39% K rate is great, but he does put guys on base, and he does have a 48% hard contact rate, so that's alarming to know that he puts guys on base intentionally, and then he gives up hard contact. That's never a good recipe for a good starting pitcher, but the K rate's high, and if you get a bad lineup, I don't mind it for GPPs. Now we need some punts because we have cores on the slate as well. Two guys I had thought were decent options. Brad Keller for the Royals, 6,900, 7.5 total, but he is the underdog in Cleveland. Last time out, he did get rocked up a little bit. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Typically gets 2 to 3 walks a game. Typically doesn't reach higher than 5 Ks a game. But the Indians, as we've known, to struggle hitting. They did have a good series in St. Louis. They won 2 out of 3. The first game they put up 14 runs, but Wainwright kind of took it to them yesterday. They lost 7-2. A lot surrounding the clubhouse right now with who could be traded, who can't be. They don't a lot of uncertainty in the locker room. I think Keller would be my preferred punt today. He does have 3 games over 19 plus fantasy points. He can go scoreless. Decent option on the slate. I think if I'm getting cores, I got Keller in my lineup. Lastly, for pitching, we have Trevor Williams. 6K. There's no total in this game because we don't know who's pitching for the Brewers. Last time on, he went 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 8 runs, 3 homers, 2 walks, 3 Ks. He was cruising. He was through 5, and then he started walking guys, and he got blown up. Gave up a couple bombs, and he got pulled. But before that, he had 4 straight games of 12 plus fantasy points. Like I said, low K rate, high ground ball rate. The hard contact's only 37%. Trevor Williams in a decent spot, but the Brewers are top heavy, and they've kind of been going as Yelich and Higuera have gone, and I don't know. Don't mind it, but Trevor Williams, 6K isn't bad for somebody that could get you 15 points. And I'd rather have Keller, but I don't know. If you're MMEing, you can have Williams. Let's move into hitting. Phillies and Nats, first game on the slate I like for hitting. Phillies going up against Fetty, 10.5 total. Get your Harper, Knapp, Real Muto. McCutchen's been on fire, and Segura. Washington versus Howard, 10.5 total. Soto, Turner, Harrison. Harrison at second base has been really good. Gomes he'd been hitting the ball better. Garcia and Struble, 2 solid options in the middle infield to fill up those tough spots for positions. So I love both sides of this game. Phillies just were crushing the ball last night versus Atlanta. We're gonna go back to this game as one of the best games come Discord time to help fill out GPPs or maybe potentially cash. Want to mention Yankees and Rays together. I think you can get some one-off homers in this spot. Short 7-game slate, so you're going to have to find some people like this. Choi has 2 bombs off of Garrett Cole in his career. Meadows doesn't have good BVP, but I think he's always a threat to hit home runs, especially in New York. And Brandon Lowe, another lefty that could potentially get to Cole in case, because Cole's given up a homer in each start, so why not try to target it? Sanchez, Voit, and Tauchman on the other side. I think those 3 guys could still be on the roster come 7 p.m. for the Yankees, so I don't mind that spot at all. For against Glasnow, who can give up hard contact, but I'm not stacking either one of these teams. Just wanted to mention that. Braves 9.5 total versus Brewer. Brewer pitch like 3 to 4 innings, and then they'll turn it over to the bullpen. So the Braves in a good spot in a short park. Guys like Acuna, but he did leave the game last night. Acuna, be careful with that if he's going to play today. Camargo's a switch hitter, so if they throw anyone on either side of the platoon against him, he could still stay in the game. With injuries to Albies and players like that, I can see him staying in the lineup without being subbed. Ozuna, Swanson, Freeman, Riley, and Duvall, all good spots tonight. I don't mind the Braves at all. Brewers versus Williams, Kenston, Higuera, Yelich, Smoke, Gamble, Sogard. Williams is not afraid of getting blown up. Even if he is pitching well at any point in time, he could just turn off. So don't mind the Brewers. Not going to be my favorite spot on the slate. Might be a game I try to avoid depending on how the salaries shake. Indians versus Keller. The Indians, I don't know. Not going to be my favorite spot, but if they can get to Keller, Lindor, Jose, the Santanas, Domingo, Carlos, Naquin, and Caesar would be my guys from that game. White Sox 9.5 total versus Hill. Love this spot. Rich Hill embarrassed the Indians, but before that got rocked. 40-year-old 12-6 curveball, probably not going to be something I think is going to be real dangerous for the White Sox. Abreu, Edwin, James McCann, Eloy, Tim Anderson, Luis Robert. The White Sox got a really good young core, and I'm going to be all over it tonight. Next up, we got the Twins versus Giolito. As I mentioned before, if you think Giolito has a regression spot in this from the no-hitter, I don't mind players like Cruz, Kepler, Cave, Marwin Gonzalez, Eddie Rosario, and Vargas, cheap second base option. And last but not least, we have Coors. Padres versus the Rockies, 12 total. Padres facing Marquee, Rockies facing Richards. Padres notable is probably Cronenworth, Hosmer, Machado, Tatis, and Grisham. I think those 5 are on the roster come, maybe not Hosmer, and they just traded for Moreland. So, and they just lost, Hedges is going to be gone at catcher, so we might get a cheap catcher for the Padres. A lot going on for the Padres. They just traded with Cleveland. They just gave up 6 players, so we don't necessarily know who's going to be on the final lineup tonight. So, we have to definitely wait for a lineup to come out for the Padres before we pick any players. Next up, we have the Rockies. You got Nolan, Blackman, Story, Kemp, McMahon, Butera. I don't see any of those guys having an issue cracking the lineups. Richard got shelled last time out, so probably be in favor of the Rockies side tonight, of course, although Marquee has been bad and the Padres have been good, and they have a lot to be excited about, but I'll still favor the Rockies in this matchup. But that'll do it for my edition of TK's Parking Lot Picks on this beautiful Monday. I'm heading to a boat, so I'll be out on the lake tonight. So hopefully get to you guys some cores in the Discord, and it should be a fun day. So enjoy your day. Go Tribe.